There are mornings when the light enters the room softly, but your body feels slow to follow. You open your eyes, hear the hum of the refrigerator, the faint call of a bird outside, and yet your joints feel as if they have not woken with you. Your mouth is dry, your steps are hesitant, and the day begins not with a spark but with the weight of routine. This first half hour, though it may seem ordinary, carries more influence over your health than most people ever imagine. Your first 30 minutes can define how well your joints move, how sharp your mind feels, and how easily your digestion works by evening. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a Japanese physician who lived to 105, understood this better than most. For him, the morning was not about rushing into tasks or counting the minutes before the day began. It was a compass, a way of setting the body and mind toward dignity, autonomy, and purpose. He did not treat morning structure as a trick, but as a form of respect for the years he had been given. And yet, for many of us, the morning has become something else entirely. A time to react rather than to prepare, to stumble into the day already on the defensive. We wake and reach for the pill bottle before we even reach for a glass of water. We sit for long stretches, letting stiffness take root in our muscles and swelling gather in our joints. We skip the quiet steps that help the body reset, steps that would make every other hour of the day easier. Dr. Andrew Weil, a pioneer in integrative medicine, reminds us that the first hour after waking is when our body is most ready to influence inflammation, stabilize our energy, and steady the nervous system. It is a moment that does not last long, and once gone, it cannot be reclaimed until the next sunrise. This is why today, we are going to walk through 4 essential morning habits, part of a set of 7, that go far beyond what you might think of as a routine. These are not chores. They are gifts you can give your body to sharpen your memory, to encourage your circulation, to aid your digestion, and to keep your balance steady. They are small enough to fit into even the slowest mornings, yet powerful enough to change how you feel by nightfall. And perhaps, if you let them, they can change how you feel about the years ahead. The day has barely begun, yet for many the first choice sets the tone for the hours that follow. Some wake and remain still, letting the weight of sleep linger in their bodies. The spine stiffens, the pulse stays low, and the joints hold onto the fluid that settled there during the night. This stillness, stretched too long, tells the body that movement can wait, and so it does. But for an aging body, every minute of hesitation at dawn is a message, one that says, it's time to slow down. During the night, blood and lymph shift toward the lower parts of the body, pooling in the legs and ankles. It is a quiet process, unseen but deeply felt in the morning's heaviness. Muscles that have been still for hours forget their warmth, tendons tighten, and circulation takes its time to return to full speed. In these moments, the body is asking for gentle awakening, not a leap, not a strain, but a reminder that the day is worth rising into. Imagine beginning that awakening before your feet even touch the floor. 10 seconds of softly clenching and opening your hands to coax blood toward the fingertips. Slow circles of the ankles, loosening the grip of the night. A tender turn of the neck, as if greeting both sides of the room. Each of these is less about exercise and more about telling your heart, send the warmth back. When you finally sit at the edge of the bed, the room may feel no different, but your body will. 3 slow lifts of the heels, then gentle taps of the toes on the floor, as if knocking politely to enter the day. These small movements wake not just the muscles, but the network of vessels and nerves that keep balance steady and step sure. Stillness at the wrong moment can teach the body to surrender too soon. Movement, even the smallest, teaches it to keep going. The first breath after waking often carries more information than we realize. For some, it comes with a roughness in the throat, a faint bitterness on the tongue, or a dryness that seems to cling no matter how many times the lips are pressed together. Many dismiss it as nothing more than thirst, a simple need for water. Yet in the quiet language of the body, a dry mouth can be a more serious whisper, a sign that the night has taken more from you than rest. As the years pass, the body's ability to hold and balance water changes. Seniors lose fluid more quickly during sleep than younger adults, and this silent dehydration can strain the kidneys, thicken the blood, and nudge inflammation higher before the day even begins. The mouth is the first to speak of it, but the message is meant for the whole body. If ignored, this small sign can be the beginning of a slow decline in energy, clarity, and digestion. In some places, elders have known this truth for centuries. In Japan, it is common for the morning to start with warm water before anything else touches the lips. This is not merely a habit but a ritual of preparation, a gentle awakening for the liver and digestive system, a way of telling the body that the day will begin in balance. The warmth carries comfort, the moisture brings life, and together they set the tone for every function that follows. Even a small glass, just enough to ease the dryness, can shift the body's course for the day. Water at room temperature flows without shocking the stomach, while a pinch of unrefined salt or a few drops of lemon can help replenish minerals lost in the night. It is a simple act, quiet and unhurried, but its effects reach far beyond the lips. A dry mouth, left unnoticed, is the first step toward a day of heaviness. Answered with care, it becomes a reminder that even the smallest needs deserve respect before the day takes hold. There is a moment, not long after waking, when the mind still drifts between dreams and the day ahead. In that space, the body is listening, waiting for a signal. For many, that signal never comes. The hours begin with quiet stillness, and the brain moves into the morning as slowly as the spine does. Yet in these early minutes, a small act can awaken both, turning fog into focus and stiffness into readiness. The connection between movement and clarity is older than science itself. Long before studies could explain it, elders in Okinawa would greet the day with gentle stretches, slow circles of the arms, and light bends of the knees. These motions were never hurried. They were as natural as breathing, a way of telling the spine to lengthen, the blood to flow, and the senses to sharpen. Modern research now confirms what tradition has always known, that gentle, deliberate movement improves circulation to the brain, steadies balance, and clears the morning haze. This is not a matter of intensity, but of presence. A seated twist, done slowly, sends fresh blood along the spine. Raising the arms above the head while taking 5 deep measured breaths signals the nervous system to wake. These actions activate the vestibular system, the inner sense that governs balance, as well as the muscles that keep posture upright and steps confident. It is as if the brain is being reminded, the body is ready, you may begin. 90 seconds is all it takes. A short, continuous flow of movement, even something as simple as rolling the shoulders or shifting weight from one foot to the other, can serve as the bridge between sleep and alertness. Before the noise of the day intrudes, this small ritual confirms what every aging body deserves to know, that it is still capable, still connected, and still prepared to carry you where you wish to go. There is a quiet language in the body that most people stop hearing after a certain age. It does not speak in words, but in rhythms, and one of the clearest rhythms takes place in the early morning, when the digestive system is at its most alert. This is when the colon sends a wave of movement through itself, a motion designed to clear away the remains of the day before. It is not just a mechanical process. It is a kind of renewal, a way the body makes space for what is to come. But when this natural reflex is postponed or ignored, the body must adapt in ways that are far from beneficial. For many, the first hour of the day is filled with other concerns, reaching for a phone, preparing a list of tasks, or moving too quickly toward the demands of the outside world. The urge to eliminate might come and go unnoticed, or it might be set aside with the thought, I'll take care of it later. Yet the body's timing is not casual. In the hours after waking, the colon's contractions are at their strongest, guided by signals from the nervous system that are most active when the day is new. Ignoring these signals too often can make them weaker over time, leaving the bowel less responsive and the gut less willing to move when asked. When waste remains in the colon longer than it should, it is not simply a matter of mild discomfort. The body begins to reabsorb water from it, making it harder and more difficult to pass. Along with this, certain substances meant to be expelled linger in contact with the intestinal walls, allowing small amounts to re-enter circulation. The result is not immediate sickness, but a gradual sense of heaviness. Digestion feels sluggish, meals leave a lingering fullness, and energy fades sooner than it should. Over weeks and months, This can influence everything from appetite to mood and even the clarity of thought. Cultures that value digestive health have long understood the importance of answering the body's morning call. In some households, there is no rush. The early hours are quiet, set aside for slow preparation. Warm water is sipped, not as a cure, but as a way to soften and awaken the digestive tract. A few moments of reading, reflection, or even looking out at the morning sky allow the body to remain relaxed, giving the muscles of the colon the best chance to work efficiently. Posture plays a role as well. When the knees are slightly raised, as if in a natural squat, the pathway through the colon straightens, reducing strain and making the process smoother. This simple adjustment has been used in many parts of the world without need for explanation. It is simply how the body works best. It is easy to think of this act as small, even trivial, but it carries effects that extend far beyond the bathroom. When the gut moves freely in the morning, digestion throughout the day tends to be lighter and more comfortable. Meals are broken down more efficiently, nutrients are absorbed more effectively, and the sense of energy is steadier. The immune system, which is closely linked to gut health, benefits as well, as the body spends less energy handling unwanted waste and more on maintaining balance elsewhere. The gut is more than a digestive tube. It is an active, responsive organ that interacts constantly with the brain, the immune system, and the hormones that regulate mood. When its natural rhythms are respected, the whole system feels the difference. Each morning, the body offers this chance for renewal, and when accepted, it sets a tone for the hours ahead, one of lightness, clarity, and quiet readiness for the day to unfold without the weight of what should have been left behind. There is a truth that Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara carried through more than a century of life. The body responds to rhythm. It is not simply the number of years that matters, but the way those years are greeted each morning. He believed that the start of the day should be anchored in small, repeated acts, not grand resolutions or sudden changes, but the kind of simple gestures that, when performed with consistency, become a quiet promise to the body. This promise tells the muscles, the heart, the brain, and even the spirit, "You can trust me to care for you today." That trust is not built in a week or a month. It is the result of showing up every morning, in the same way, with the same care, until it becomes part of who you are. Hinohara's life was a testament to this. He did not speak of health as something won in hospitals or preserved only by medicine. Instead, he showed that the early hours, when the mind is still uncluttered and the body has just risen from rest, are an opportunity to set the tone for everything that follows. When he said rhythm, he meant not just the timing of actions, but the harmony between them. Movement that wakes the muscles, nourishment that restores what was lost in the night, moments of stillness that calm the mind without letting the body fall back into stiffness. In his view, the first hour after waking is like the first chapter of a book. Begin it well, and the rest of the story is easier to read. Dr. Andrew Weil, whose work in integrative medicine has influenced people across the world, shares a similar observation. He has spoken often about the window the body offers in the morning, a window during which our choices have an outsized influence on the systems that keep us alive and well. Hormones are shifting, blood sugar is being regulated, and the nervous system is moving from the slower pace of sleep into the readiness of wakefulness. In this time, inflammation can be soothed before it rises, the immune system can be steadied, and the day's energy can be balanced. But these things do not happen automatically. They require a certain kind of attention, one that many people, especially in later life, have forgotten to give. It is easy to see how this attention slips away. Mornings can become repetitive without being intentional. We wake, sit, take pills, turn on the television, drink whatever is closest at hand, and push the body into the day without giving it the preparation it needs. These actions feel harmless in the moment, but they shape the body's rhythm over time. Without movement, circulation slows. Without hydration, the blood thickens and the organs work harder than necessary. Without honoring natural bodily urges, digestion becomes sluggish. Without a few moments of mindful presence, stress takes hold before we even leave the bedroom. Paying attention to the first 30 minutes after waking is not about loading the morning with tasks or rules. It is about creating the conditions for the rest of the day to unfold more easily. This does not require dramatic changes. In fact, trying to alter everything at once often leads to frustration. The better approach is to subtract the habits that quietly wear you down and replace them with ones that restore you. This could mean replacing long periods of stillness with gentle movement, replacing rushed sips of coffee with water that truly quenches the night's thirst, or replacing distracted, mechanical mornings with ones where you notice how your body feels before you ask it to perform. One of the most useful questions you can reflect on is this: how do your mornings truly begin? Do you rise in a rush, letting your body follow the demands of the clock without pause? Or do you allow the morning to have its own pace, steady enough to notice the light in the room, the sound of the air outside, the signals your body is sending? These early minutes are when your choices can either support the body's natural processes or work against them. There is no need for complexity here. Even a small act done with awareness can alter the entire course of the day. There is also something deeply human in preserving these moments for yourself. In a world where so many hours are claimed by others, by responsibilities, by noise, by the endless pace of life, the early morning can be one of the few times left that truly belong to you. When you spend those minutes in a way that strengthens rather than depletes you, the benefits are felt not just in the body, but in the mind. There is a steadiness that carries through, a quiet sense of readiness that makes the rest of the day's demands easier to meet. Over months and years, the effect of these choices becomes even more visible. The body adapts to the patterns you set for it. Muscles remember to stay active, even in rest. The digestive system remains responsive, clearing itself without strain. The brain greets the day with clarity rather than confusion. The immune system works without unnecessary burden. Each of these is a thread in the larger fabric of health, and together they create a resilience that is not built in dramatic moments, but in the quiet, consistent repetition of mornings spent with intention. It is tempting to think that the start of the day is a small thing, easily sacrificed to convenience or habit. But in truth, it is the quiet architect of the hours that follow. The body keeps track of the patterns you set for it, and over time those patterns become your health. When the first decision after waking is one of care, you give the rest of the day a stronger foundation. When that choice is repeated often enough, it becomes a kind of invisible protection, carrying you not just through the day, but through the years ahead with steadier steps, clearer thoughts, and a greater ease in the body that must carry you through them all.